Another thing that I learned along the way with my daughter's journey is that conditioner is the devil. And now I say that with an asterisk because I know a while ago I made a video talking about how I was considering putting conditioner in my locks and, just kind of like thinking that through. I think that conditioner can be a really good part of someone's hair journey depending on what kind of hair they have. My daughter is fully in the type 3 family, and I have found that when you're dealing with Microlocs, Sisterlocks on type 3 hair, conditioner is going to undermine your journey significantly. And unfortunately, I didn't learn that until after I had already started applying conditioner to her hair. I didn't want to run the risk of her hair drying out, and so we would wash it as normal, and then I would just put some conditioner. Interestingly, the conditioner did nothing to disrupt the length of her locks. Her locks are locked and they are not wanting to come undone. Where I ran into issues was with her roots, which makes sense because her roots are not yet locked. They're the newest part of the lock, and so they haven't had as much time to settle as the rest of her locks have, or the rest of the length has. And so what I found is that we were applying conditioner, and then after a while, her roots got so unruly that I could barely find the parts, and I didn't actually know how to address that, so I kind of just retightened the best that I could. And then after a while it became apparent that I was going to have to reestablish her parts, and that's exactly what I had to do. I did have to reestablish her parts. That the hairs just got so mangled together that I had to do quite a bit of cutting to separate locks. I was so afraid during that time because I was like, in order to get these parts back together, I'm gonna have to cut, but like, is the degree to which I'm cutting going to weaken her locks so much that we start seeing locks fall out or locks thinning? Again, fortunately, I feel like God was kind of guiding my hands and guiding me through that process, because while it's just a hairstyle, I was kind of like, my daughter has trusted me with her hair, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can. So I feel like it was a big deal to me. And so I was praying about it, and I was asking God to give me wisdom. And in the end, everything worked out. Like I said, we didn't lose any locks. There was one lock that was thin, and I could see it was thin from me having had to cut some of the roots to separate them. And so in that particular instance, while the lock was still there, and I think if given time it would have regained its fullness, I just decided to snip that and then add the roots to a neighboring lock, because it was already a small lock to begin with. That was one of the locks that was at the front, which in hindsight I realized those were made too small anyway. So I went ahead and combined that. You'll see throughout the video that in some instances she has flyaways at her roots. That's from the cutting. The density of her hair has remained intact and full and completely there. But where I did have to cut, you'll see some of those little tiny hairs sticking out around the roots of her locks, and that's what that's from. So again, the takeaway, no conditioner. I would say that if you are a type 3 hair person and you do Sisterlocks or Microlocs, I would say avoid conditioner. Oil is sufficient. Wash it as normal. I usually take some olive oil, rub it between my hands, coat her hair, and that's enough. Should my second daughter desire to have locks, which she probably will, as she is already asking for them now, I will not make that mistake of applying conditioner to her hair, because her hair is even straighter than Cruz's is. So I just know that the conditioner is not going to work for us.